Hi, and welcome to another edition of Theories and Thoughts podcast with your hostess Anya. And
Fancy
tonight we have Troy Rawlings. That's his name, right?
Rawlings.
Rawlings. Normally we have Wind Down, but tonight we have a guest, Troy Rawlings. Am I saying it right?
Rawlings, I think.
Rawlings. And we'll be discussing how to communicate with the opposite sex. So
Stay tuned. I'm sorry. I'm over here struggling for real behind this commercial break.
um, so hey y'all, hey. um it ain't got cold out here. Is it cold there?
It's cooler.
To me it's cold. I didn't put on the heat. I'm not one of them people that be like, oh, I'm just gonna put on a bunch of clothes. Nope. And I'm not gonna do it. So I put on the heat. I put on the heat because I'm cold. I don't like to be walking in my house with a hoodie on and be freezing cold and stuff. I don't know.
Well, I do all that because I live in an older house, and so otherwise, it's gonna be more expensive for me. So yeah, I have a hoodie collection, and sweaters and jackets and other stuff.
Child, I put well, I live in an apartment. Only I get air sometimes on my front door. And I might put something underneath that if it's really, really cool. But in my bedroom, I'd be like, I'm about to turn on a little heat. 75, nothing major, just something. So, how was your weekend? What did you do? What did you do?
So my weekend was good. I actually went to David and Tamla. Am I saying her name correctly? Tamla Mans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I be calling her Tamila. So I went to David and Tamla's overcomer family tour, if I'm not mistaken, is how it goes. And I got a last minute invite, so I was kind of late, and my kids had me running everywhere. Then I had to leave early, but it was really good. I hadn't ever went like to a church comedy show before, so I was really shocked by a lot of the content, I guess you'd say, and the subject matter. And I guess in some ways, then I was like, I kept looking around like I never had been to that church before. So I kept thinking to myself, this is a church, right? And then, but it was interesting. It was a lot of older people there, and they really enjoyed David's show, which I enjoyed it too. But I was almost kind of worried, like, oh my God, like, did he really just say that? Because at one time he said something like booty clapping like a church choir, and I was just like, wow, did he really say that in church? Like, I was really shocked. But it was interesting. And then but I really wanted to hear Tamala sing, and I was trying to ask them, did I miss that? Because I came about 15 minutes late, but I left, like, I finished his whole show, and then there was a speaker from this organization called Sunrise. And you know how you see those ads about sending people money in like Africa and stuff? Well, the speaker was actually one of those children. grown up. And
Okay.
his goal was to be an accountant. So David and them actually uh were his sponsors. And so it was like, it was really sad, watching it. But they also had, but the really sad part was they showed a video of another woman and her sponsor surprised her and showed up. So, and of course, they were looking for donations. I left shortly, like kind of in the middle of that, well, as they were kind of closing that part out. So I don't know if she actually sang, wow, those times I was missing. So I really hated that. But I was trying to reach their publicist to ask about that before I do my recap. And so also then on Saturday, I went to Southern University's parade. And that was it was really nice. I hadn't been in a lot of years and I really don't like attend a lot of parades. So I totally forgot, like, like to bring a chair. And that parade was like 3 hours long, girl.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was good. It was also really interesting to look at from the business standpoint and see how many Black owned businesses there are in Baton Rouge. I see the contractors and the truck drivers kind of seem to own the parade for the most part. Then it was like some boutiques and stuff, but it was cool. And then my best friend came down. She came to attend the parade, so I get to see her seem like every few years. So this is actually our first time seeing each other, like I saw her last year. So it's been some time, but it's been over a year. So it was nice spending that time with her throughout. And so yeah, and then on Sunday I just watched All American. I'm hooked now. I'm trying to prepare for an interview with somebody on the cast. So I'm
Ooh, okay.
through. I can't say, but I'm hoping it goes through so that I can, I haven't, but I've enjoyed watching it. But I started watching it for that reason.
I love All American and Homecoming.
Well,
I
it's
was just watching both.
the homecoming one.
I was like literally just watching both before we came on. I finished this week's episode.
That's probably what I'm going to bed to tonight.
I absolutely love it. I was watching Homecoming, not Homecoming. I was watching All American before they put on Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
I like Homecoming.
Yeah.
Both of them are really, really, really good. I think that they have a lot of good conversation starters. So yeah, I started watching ATL Impact ATL.
Is that with Jada?
Yeah, I like her.
I do too, but I've heard she's been having like a tough time online or something recently. But I haven't saw the show though.
I started watching the show because of Lakia,
I think.
Yeah, there's a couple of her songs that I actually like. I really like her music. Songs that's not even on the radio. Like I don't even know how I found her. Probably on Lotto Station because I like Lotto Station on Spotify. You know how they play something. And this was before her and Lotto's song. So she got some songs that I like. And I wanted to support her because I'm one of those people. If I like you, I want to support you. And I believe that people buy into the person and not so much as your brand. A lot of time, well, they buy into the person, which make them buy into the brand. But if you just putting out music, they don't know you, they don't know the backlog and all of that. And they really don't I don't think people really get into it like that. I guess I don't know. That's just my theory. But I watched that, so I'm up on that as well. So I like that. They said that the Pink ain't coming back for 2 years. I said they about to with this 2 years. Listen, nobody ain't got time for that. We're gonna forget about the Pink. Okay. But I understand they have to get their contracts and everything together. But my thing is this: what she says is gonna take 2 years for her to write it and everything. It shouldn't take that long. Not 2 years.
She should hire some more people or something. Like they should be, I don't know. I saw that, but I didn't know the full story of it. But
I don't know the full story. I'm just
time though, in my opinion.
I'm guessing that's why. I don't know. I meant even the actors, they have other roles and different things that they're working on. But still, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I still believe that it shouldn't take 2 years.
Well, it's gonna definitely be post-pandemic, the Pink, or however you say it.
This weekend, I actually I've discussed that I'm a part of I guess I'm kind of part of a trail ride group.
Oh, well, you should be a member by now because you've told us that you've been.
Girl. Well, we did Candyland on Friday. And so I enjoyed it. It was fun. I didn't like the hat, but we got a lot of compliments on that ugly hat. I thought the hat was so ugly, but everybody was like, "That hat is fire. Oh, that's a cute hat." Even when I post my pictures, oh, that hat fire. I'm like, y'all like this?
I gotta see it.
It got too much stuff going on with it. It's just not my thing. Saturday, one of my girlfriends spoke at a women's conference. So I went and supported her. And that's what I did Saturday. And then I went by one of my other girlfriends' house. I hadn't seen her in a while. And I had some much needed conversations on Saturday. So that was good. And Sunday, I went back to my Home Depot. I went to go see my friends. They one of them had hit me up and was like, "When you coming up here?" And I was like, I'm not one to be like, well, let me go up there and be, that's just not me.
Yeah, I hope not, because I've always talked bad about those people that do that sort of thing. But I mean, it's sweet to go back and visit sometime. But you know how somebody might not be at a job anymore, or even just got off work and they just still be coming up there, just hanging out.
So I seen everybody, and me and one of my old managers gonna get together. We gonna hang out. Two of them. One of them work at that location. The boy, I swear. Oh, I'm so sorry, but I got good reason why I'm yawning so much. But yeah, so I did that. It took me forever to get up out my bed, but I really enjoyed it. They had to catch me up on the gossip. So, they had to tell me that. And one of the ladies was like, "I felt you." She said, "I felt you before I seen you." She said, "I felt your energy." That made me feel so happy. So that was really cool. So that's what I did this weekend. I'm sorry. It's gonna be like Mama said it's gonna be days like this. But so here's I'm trying, which I guess it's on the thing. And he sent the private message talking about, "Girl, stop yawning." I'm trying. Y'all know it's not me to be yawning like this. But anyway, so listen. Today we're not doing an official wind down, but I did want to talk about one of the stories that we actually posted on our page, but I don't think we talked about it. And it was a conversation with Coach Stormy and the low vibration plate. If you're not familiar with it, Coach Stormy was at a barbecue and she had select things on her plate, and the other lady had a bunch of stuff on her plate. And she said, "That's a low vibration plate." And she said, "You just let them give you anything." Because the girl said, "I'm not going to eat all this." And she said, "Well, you just let them give you anything. And you just took it. So they give it to you, you just going to take it. You're not going to tell them that that's not what you want." And a lot of people had an opinion on that matter. And at first I was like, what she mean by low vibration? So we're not supposed to eat this stuff at the cookout? But I thought of it in a different way. So Francis, do you have an opinion?
No, go ahead on and tell me your way so I can tell you what I think. Because I can tell you seem like you done been one of them to come to light, like, oh, maybe
no.
Okay, because I'm not, yeah.
Okay, so something that she said in the conversation caught my attention. I'm going to say that. So this will caught my attention. She said, "You let them give you anything and you just took it." The whole low vibration, high vibration, whatever. But something, when she said, "You let them give you anything and you just took it," because the girl was like, "I'm not going to eat all this. I'm not going to eat that and this, that, and third." And she said, "You let them give you anything and you just took it." How many times do we allow people to give us anything and we just take it? That's the part that got me. Now, again, I don't know about this low vibration and high vibration. I eat the potato salad, the baked beans. I like the baked beans with the meat in it. I like me a good hot dog as long as it's not beef. You know, I don't eat beef. I like me a good hamburger as long as it's not beef. So I don't know about the rest of that. But and she was like, no, she teaching me. She teaching me. I'm listening. I don't like that part either. I ain't like that because it made it seem like she was just so, I didn't like all of that. But the part, like I said, that got my attention was they just give you anything and you just take it. And so many times in life, people just give us anything and then we just take it just to be nice, just to be not to offend, not to say I don't want that. So I am in control of what's on my plate. And if we look at that as our lives, I'm in control of what's in my life, what I accept, what I allow you to do to me. So that's what I had. So
Okay. So you did, like I said, like had it from the, but I'm kind of like, I I totally get what you just said. It makes a lot of sense. But I think it's the messenger, I don't know, that just kind of disturbs me the most. That I don't know if you want to call it fangirling or worshiping or whatever that is that the friend was doing or whatever she was, the student. I didn't too much care for that. But I think it's just kind of her. I just question her, and I'm not gonna. I've put her on the cover on the magazine before, so I've interviewed her before, and her personality was just too aggressive for me. Like I didn't realize that, and at the time, like when I did the interview, a lot of things, it was a good interview, and she seemed cool, but then like she ended up trying to sell me into this thing, this program that she was selling at the time. I bought it knowing I was broke, and I'm telling her I am so broke right now. I do not have $29 a month to pay for this because I don't know where I'm gonna be getting our next $20 from. And she was still, girl, if you can't do so and so, so and so. I don't like when women do that sort of thing. And I was younger back then. So back then I would be like, oh, well, let me just, when they say they made all this money and let me try it out. And then I always end up being the one looking stupid and broke, and at the same time, like now I just don't buy into that type of stuff anymore. When I see people, especially when people are aggressive like that, it's a major turn off for me. I'll be quiet, most of the time, but I'm probably not gonna have too much to say to them because I don't even want to be on their radar. I don't want to have to deal with that type of energy. So the whole low vibrational, and then I guess the finger licking and all the other stuff, and then the read that what was his name? You like him, Funky Deneva or whatever, like
he got it together.
everything he said, I agree with, and I just, yeah. But I mean, if you want to look at it that way, I could totally understand it.
It was just that part.
Yeah, that part. If you just pull that out of it, and that does something for you, then I get that. But it's the messenger.
I never heard of her, and now that you say that like that, I remember the story about her. You've talked about this before, but I didn't know her name and everything about. We've talked about this before. For some reason our comments are not coming up, so I went to
they're down tonight on Facebook, well, on StreamYard. It said it on the thing when we came in.
Okay, so I put it on my phone. Tanika Jenkins says prayer works, drop mic. I'm not sure what part we were talking about. That Sharona say hey Sharona. She said the low vibration plate looked delicious. Laugh out loud. Then she said Stormy trying to make everything a lesson. She was serving the food at her own function. P.S. Royalty has all the food. Poor people get scraps. Look at Stormy's plate. And Coach D just laughed. He put the laughing emoji. So because I was like, why no comments coming right?
Yeah, I've been sitting here wondering the same thing, but I totally forgot that I did see that when I came in. But yeah, so
there we go here. But no, that was it. What's wrong?
Oh, one other thing. Let's not forget too on that that time we did the blackout thing, remember she went off on her people because they were like they weren't trying to sell that day or something, you know, and she was like, y'all
I don't know anything about her.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a few years ago. But okay, so anything else before we close out and go to commercial?
No, I was about to say I literally know nothing about her, but apparently she's like this big entity that people know about. But that's why everybody was like at her neck for saying that. And I agree with Sharona. The low vibration plate did look good because that looked like my plate. I just had a problem with you just let everybody have, you know, you let them give you whatever. So yeah. I'm done. What you drinking?
Iced tea.
Oh, I was about to say,
does it sound like I have an echo?
No.
No, good. Okay.
I was about to say on the picture with, since Jay, you can't see him, King Jay. Well, the video isn't playing fancy. I look so pissed.
Both of us do. All of us look crazy.
Angry.
I keep getting to change it. I just hadn't had the time.
We look so angry, like.
But we're talking but you know what I think we're probably talking about? And I went, if it's not mental health, then we're talking about the disconnect between Black men and women. So either way, it was a, you know,
so it was like, now what you got to say? What you about to say? Anyway, welcome to the show. Did I say your last name right? Rawlings. Troy Rawlings.
Like Rawlings.
Rawlings. Rawlings.
Like raw uncut. Yeah.
Okay. But am I saying it right? Rawlings.
Raw. Yeah. You know how to say raw, girl. You haven't said raw before.
What we're not gonna do is that. Welcome to Theories and Thoughts podcast. Welcome. Tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Oh, okay. I'm Troy Rawlings. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. I live in Los Angeles, California now. And for the past 18, 19 years, I've been doing my taboo talk, raw uncut, sex, love, relationships, everything in between tour. My comedy is based on it. My books are based on love and relationships. And my mission is to help men and women communicate better in love. So that's kind of my niche. So, and let me tell y'all something. If y'all two don't sound like two 70-year-old women talking.
Don't
from the Delta, from down by the Delta, the Bayou. Let me tell you.
What you're not gonna do.
I've been getting texts too. They were like, "These sisters sound like y'all ain't but 12. Y'all sound like a girl. I seen Stormy's plate. They put greens next to potato salad. I don't know how it is with the chilling juice."
What you're not gonna do is that. Don't talk to us.
It took everything in me, knowing I was on camera, not to bust out like I'm looking like, what are they? What? Mm-hmm. But I understood the point you were trying to make. You let anybody put anything on your plate, like
anything. But it was who said it, and a lot of people was in her.
Where are y'all originally from? Where are you originally from, Fancy? Where are you originally from? Anya?
We are the hosts, honey. We ask the questions around here. Not Fancy, where you from?
Macomb, Mississippi.
Mississippi. M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I. Humpback.
He's not gonna come on here and try to take your show.
Where you from?
I'm from Texas. I live in Dallas.
Oh, okay. See,
I'm from New Orleans.
Y'all from around? Are you from New Orleans?
New Orleans?
You down around the way? New Orleans?
I live in Dallas. I've been in Dallas for 23, 4 years now.
You in Texas? You in Dallas now? All right, now y'all can.
Oh, can we?
I was like, yo, they are.
Can we
They
now?
sound like they from down around the way. Sounds like, girl. When I was, you scratching your breast. When I was the boy on the street.
Sharona
said, on the show.
Sharona said, I was about to say from where? Sharona do all this.
Oh, somebody from North. Yeah,
we went to high school together with ourselves from Dallas. She said she was about to say, you from where? Anyway, why you got two naked white babies on your cover?
They not white.
They look white to me.
That's the color I was when I was born. They not white. Mm-hmm. They sepia, actually. Okay. Two naked white babies.
Okay, so you talked about. Go ahead, Fancy.
Look, how you just go switch?
You said crossover?
I was about to say something, but you look like you was about to ask him something.
No, you can go ahead. I just, we've had a lot of banter back and forth, but I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna get into the conversation, but I guess this is a good sign of us communicating with the man, or you at least, because I've been kind of quiet. But
so what made you say, let me start talking about taboo subjects when it comes to men and women? What made you say, I want to get into that ring?
I was doing comedy already and hosting events, but I was doing some publicist work for different book authors. And an author named Dee Blackman, amazing author, had a book called Falling Snow. And Dee had got to a certain part in the tour, and I was like, yeah, we got some other things to do. And she wanted to do some things as far as writing plays. And she went kind of the playwright way, and I was working on some stuff on my own. And an author by the name of Yonder, my best friend, actually, Rodney Harrison, he my best friend now, but he saw I had my email newsletter going out. This was like 2003. And by 2004, he had dropped his book and was looking for me. He was like, whatever you didn't do with your last author, I want to do. And he had erotic fiction book. So if you ever read Zane, have you ever read Zane yet? So it was like, what can I say? Can I talk like I talk? Because I heard you saying something about David Mann going a little too far. And I was like,
she was in the church. Let me tell you, Fancy tries to be a prude. I don't know where she get that from.
I just want to know because I don't want to start and your pastor be like, who is this heathen on your show tonight? And what's his number?
Talk your shit.
Okay, so Yonder's book, you open it up, they fucking on the floor. It's erotic fiction, the poem and everything. So as we started doing the book tour, one of our first book tours was at Mondawmin Mall in Baltimore, Maryland. And amazing author, and now he's producing shows. Big shout out to Carl Weber. He had a bookstore he opened in Mondawmin Mall called Urban Knowledge. So he's from New York originally, but I think he had it in New York too. But Baltimore was when they called it the city that reads, people used to laugh, but you could sell some books in Baltimore. And so we have a table set up in the middle of a mall, Black Mall, one of the blackest malls in America. You got the tennis shoe shop, kids shop, liquor store. It's Black Mall. So food, chicken wings, liquor store, books, Foot Locker. And so women are coming by. This one woman comes by and she's like, okay, y'all two guys, we standing there. I'm doing my pitch to them. All right, y'all two brothers. Look, my guy came home the other night. I tried to go down on him and suck him off, and he stopped me. Is he cheating on me? We like, well, I ain't never heard no guys try to stop a woman from sucking his dick ever. So I don't know if that's something. I was like, were you always jumping on him when he first came in the door? Is this new? And we laughing. I'm a comedian. I don't mind embarrassing myself. And I said, well, also he's probably still at work. And she was like, I was like, it takes a guy longer to deprogram. So you at work, you like, girl, I'm on my way home. Yes, ma'am. Yes, your son did have syphilis. He got locked up. Girl, I can call you back. No, I'm good. Yeah. And like I said, I'm calling back. Look, we going to the club tonight. And yeah, no, in the second ward.
And
y'all get home. Look, take your school clothes off, put your play clothes on, get your stuff together. Yeah, girl. Like I was saying, y'all can just roll. And for a guy, we compartmentalize in our thinking. So our communication is stagnant and a bit different. That's why if you ask a guy 2 questions at the same time, well, why you late and where you been? He's like, look, I ain't got time for all these questions. You just why you giving me the 3rd degree coming in the door? And then all of a sudden y'all arguing. You ask 2 questions, but he like, whoa. But it's just the way, so we're talking, and she bought the book early. What I Do is Taboo is the name of the book. It's a erotic book series. We're coming out with book 6, coming up in 2023. So she bought the book and was talking to other women as they came by. She was really helping us sell books, because now she's so into it that other women are coming by and they talking, and they openly, kids and strollers, but they talking about hugging, sucking, doing this. I'm trying to figure out. I got some stories. I should have a book. And they go, and the book is only 60. His first book was only 69 pages. A woman that can read that in front of you. So I stepped back and I was like, if they talking like this in public, and it threw me because I thought women talk to other women about that. But then later on, I figured out, she ain't gonna tell her girlfriend that her husband don't like the way she do oral sex or something. Not if she, especially if she don't know if they too close. It's a lot of factors. And so I was like, what would happen if we did this like in a closed setting, in a more private setting, where people could really get open? I said, how much you need to make off a book? He was like, I make $5-10 on the books. I said, we're gonna bump it up to $20. We're gonna add some food and some drink, and we do it in a closed setting. And we started in the back of Urban Idol's bookstore with like 12 people. And within a year's time, we was in a ballroom in front of 1,200 people.
Wow.
So I realized, this must be my niche. And it came from the way my mom talked to me about sex. When she thought I was having sex in middle school, she was like, what you know about sex? Seen a girl write something in your yearbook. So, and I wasn't having sex, but it was like, it opened up a lot more conversation. She got rid of the taboo, and she said something key. She was like, look, if you ever have a question, you'll never get in trouble with me coming to me asking me a question about sex. I'd rather you come to me than go to the basketball court and be getting some lies. So you can, and she was a nurse and she was street, and she, so it was that changed my communication with her and other female. And I study this stuff. Like, I love reading books. I love talking about relationships, and I don't get it right. So the average brother, so yeah, so that's how I get started pretty much.
I like that because I'm open about sex, but I don't talk. My thing is, I don't like talking about it in a public setting, but in a closed door situation, I would. And we do talk to our girlfriends about sex, and if we close enough with them, we will tell them, hey, he don't like how I'm doing this. You got any pointers or something like that to help a girl out? For certain things. Well, I can only speak for myself and my people. We
right.
Yep.
Your squad. Yeah, your squad. You were like, girl, I did this, and I didn't think it was gonna go. It didn't go right.
Because I think the biggest thing is, I think that when you talk about sex, I'm just not that person to want to talk about it in public. Like, I'm not going on my Facebook to just talk about it. But I'll read about it in a book. I'll learn some things, or I'll talk about it with my mate or with my girlfriends. Like, girl, this happened, da 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 da. But
that's good that you're talking. If you talk about it with your mate and you got your, the biggest thing is that people weren't. We found out pretty quickly that people would come out, and they come out to this event, and I mean, we had people in there who may have been dating a musician or something. His event was 4 hours. Our event was 4 hours. She was here talking about what's going on in their relationship, and he playing at a gig, not knowing that she like, well, how? Because I'm not really getting what. But for some reason, she felt like she couldn't talk to him. But all of a sudden, we break the mold, and I'm blessed to be able to set an atmosphere where people feel comfortable. So that made it a lot easier too. So, and it's no judgment. First thing I say, I was like, look, I don't care if you're a virgin or if you're sucking dick in the hallway. We all on the same playing field. Ain't nobody, don't judge nobody. What happens here stays here. Or what happens here never happened. And people just, you can see their shoulders. You can tell by people's body language. And then I do anonymous. If you've seen my special, it's on YouTube, I'll make sure. Troy Rawlings, Bra and Cut Clean. It's on YouTube, and I have people put their questions in a bucket. So and then I just pull and do improv. I've been blessed I do a lot of improv. I love improv comedy. It's exciting. It's fun. So, get a chance to make people laugh and break the ice and also teach them stuff.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm the total opposite of Anya. Well, I'm not gonna say the total opposite, but this is even sitting here throughout this, y'all probably saw.
I was like, man, your blush is looking wonderful. Your makeup, she like everything in her. She's shaking, a bead of sweat rolling in.
I'm still more and it's funny
just saying yourself
in a lot of ways. Like I don't know. I'm still, I guess, growing comfortable discussing it. It's just not even with the mate, I think I probably would only do so if the situation required it. Then I'd be like, okay, let's have this conversation. But I've always been, I used to be extremely shy, so I guess that's why it's still kind of, for me.
And there's nothing wrong, and that's one of the big things I say. There's nothing wrong with that. Virgin sucking dick in the hallway. You might think the chick sucking dick in the hallway, but just because you're doing an act doesn't mean you can talk about it. And when I went to hedonism, I did the special that's on YouTube, was a mostly Christian woman piece. No cussing, it's wrong, cut clean. But then I go to hedonism, people like, oh, that. People going there, they got nude side and crude side, and they swinging. I know that was off the hook. I was like, no, questions were pretty much the same. Actually, I had more questions that were deeper from the sisters, the church sisters. So and then it's all nationalities. Everybody deals with, either we having sex, or we here because of sex, or we think about sex. But it's easier to deal with the taboo stuff, and then it leads into some other things. People talking about being molested, and that's why they're reserved, or someone talking about never really knowing what affection was. Sex was no problem, but their love thing, they're not really, so all those things come out in the midst of it, and that's why I love it. I love doing it.
Yeah. Right, I get that. A lot of it is,
also for the folks, because I had some people. If y'all got any questions, you can text me, because I see some people texting me and saying something about the comments too. So, 14 comments. 14 comments just popped up.
Yeah, that was the comments that weren't up there before. I just working now.
I only see I can see just like Sharona's and Chef D's, but those are the ones that do, so I can't see anything else.
That's the only ones that I see.
Sharona, Dimension of Stacy. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see the rest. I don't see the rest unless they're just not coming through. Feel free to text one of us or something like that if you have any questions. Yeah. So when we're communicating with the opposite sex, here's the thing. I've been in some situations where
what kind of situations?
We're gonna talk about it. Let me set this thing up. Look, stop trying to take over our show.
No, it's just guys, guys be like, I don't understand what you're saying. Let me get to it.
So here's the thing. You've been, when you're in a sexual situation with someone and they're not performing, I find that men, you can tell some men that, maybe we can do something different. But a lot of men, their ego you're not performing. Like, it's doing nothing for me.
Look, I was talking to Dimension of Stacy. I said that a long time ago. Well, send some questions then, Dimensions of Stacy. Send some new questions so we know what time it is. I was talking to way before the brother got into the conversation. I was talking to this one sister, beautiful sister. Doing a thing. Actually, the sister was a family therapist, and been married to a husband for years, 20 years, and was talking about how, and I heard this several times. He only liked to have sex with her like doggy style, or her facing down, and she's beautiful. So some of the things and she said, "Can we say I got it?" His fucking answer was, "I'm good." I've heard people say that more than once, but there are men who, because there's some guys that are nervous too. Think about the sister that got married to some dude when they were 18, 19, 20, especially if they came up in the church, you know, and they just knew to get married. No one ever, they ain't even cracked the Song of Solomon in the church, let alone tell them anything about intimacy, how to, if
They don't.
most women don't have orgasms, son, through vaginal sex alone. So you may want to, if you don't introduce any toys, you may want to work your tongue a little bit, check out your fingers, make sure your hands clean. You lift up the hood, find a little man inside the boat. We talk about the clitoris, so y'all don't think I'm
Speak your truth.
because you know, so you know what I'm saying. The clitoris is not. It's that little thing is a trigger, but the clitoris and the boat, it goes around. So it's a lot of things. And real quick, clit, small dick. Whatever you want her to do to you, do to her. Same thing, same nerve endings. Actually, the clitoris is more sensitive. So just a heads up. And I think if a lot more men looked at a woman as they like to be pleasured, because like you're talking about, if a guy is not getting pleasured, he's like, oh, this is trash. I don't like this. She ain't good. This, that, and other. Not knowing that y'all supposed to be working together. Y'all a team in this thing. If she's dry and non-aroused, hello, that's not just on her. For one, it may be if she's not comfortable. Yes, women have a big charge in their orgasms. Huge. Actually, look, I brought some reading material. But there's a book called
reading stuff. We're gonna have a time.
Ordinary Women, Extraordinary Sex.
Okay.
And it talks about also there's a book called Female Ejaculation. There is a book called Female Ejaculation. All these books you can get on Amazon and Google, including my book. But it talks about the fact that if you ask most people, how's your sex life? Some of them might be like non-existent, you know, they joking around, you know, I'm nothing. But some people's like, fine, or oh, it's outstanding. So you can't tell if people are telling the truth. So when they started testing these women and different people, they started doing a broad test. Oh, how do you feel about sunsets? Do movies make you cry? What colors make you feel this? Because if you're orgasmic during sex, you're probably usually orgasmic in life. So the broad spectrum show in the test they use showed that if people love sunsets, oh my God, when I go for a walk and oh my God, the ocean is so beautiful. Oh my God, did you see? Those people who are usually orgasmic during sex too. And the people who are more reserved or, you know, they're a little tighter. You know, they're a little wound up. It may take a little bit more, but it just talked about the overall piece of people. So on a communication tip, what you were talking about, it's literally, like I said, and it's another book here. I mean, there's another book I don't have here.
What was the name of the other book? I'm sorry. What was the name of the book you just?
It's by Dr. Sandra Scantling and Sue Browder. It's called Ordinary Women, Extraordinary Sex.
Oh, okay.
Really good read. Of course, the other book, one of the books by Dr. John Gray, and I'll put my book at the end. But the reason I'm pulling up books, y'all, is because we'll get a book. Shout out to Swag Her magazine. Shout out to Sheen magazine. I write a relationship article in Sheen. Actually, I have a relationship article in the one that's out now with Omarion on the cover. 5 things a man needs for a successful relationship. Great article. The women told me it was great, so I was like,
I'm about to say, plug your shit.
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Uh-huh.
Now, a lot of people say they've seen the book, but no one has read the book. And all he's talking about is the communication techniques. And it's a lot of helpful things for both people. So a guy is not a woman with a penis. We don't think the same at all.
Right.
So scientifically, we don't think the same. So, and you learn people's conversation patterns. I have another book that I'm reading now called Attached. They're attachment patterns that people have. You learn these different things. And I have friends who are doctors, who are psychologists and stuff, and we talk a lot. But you start learning people's pattern. People always jump on the 5 love languages. Oh, I love this book. This is not the book to read if you're having problems. Right. You will start arguing. Well, you know, I like physical touch. Well, you ain't done no service around them. You know, now y'all got another thing to argue about because these are just 5 of the love languages. You know another love language? If he's moping down in his chair baby, what's wrong? You got off from work, whatever. What's wrong? Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good. Baby, something's wrong. No, I'm good. Back in the day, some women still do it now. You're like, you hungry?
That's a love.
Yeah. How you?
Baby, I got, get dressed. Get dressed. I made reservations as a love language.
Well, here's another thing. Have you ever noticed that you and your man, you ready to go out, this, that, and other, and your man's like sitting, he's dragging, he don't feel like, he seems like he don't feel like going nowhere. He's like, what is going on? When we have something going on here, we just want to get still and get quiet. When women have something going on here, usually they want to talk about it. They want to get it out. They're going to cry it out. It's got to leave somebody. If you find a woman that's really reserved and holding a lot of stuff in, she's going to explode on somebody. Hopefully it's not at work. Not today, Ann. What's wrong with Teresa?
I agree with that. That because men want to find, what I've learned is men want to find a solution. They're looking for a solution. Women, we just want to talk about it. Every time we're not so much looking for a solution. I find that I'm a little bit of both. I'm solution driven because I don't want to keep hearing this and hearing about this. Let's figure out what we gonna do to fix this situation. Like and let's get past it. That's how I feel. So what is the number one thing that you think men and women need to know when communicating with one another?
Be loving, be patient. We're on the same team. Like there's a lot of women and men, not just women get a bad rap for being so independent now. But a lot of men have been that way for a long time. But here's the thing. We're just not taught healthy interdependence.
Mm-hmm.
It was never meant to be independent with men and women.
Right.
I don't need a man. That's funny. God thought we needed you so much, he created you.
Right.
So what do you mean you don't need? We do need each other. We scared to say we need. We all, LL said I need love when I'm alone in my room. Sometimes
they're afraid of being hurt.
He drifted off. He was by himself, 18. He knew he needed love. We all need love. Babies die if they're not touched. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, we don't need nobody to touch us, hug us. I've hugged people before, hugged sister. You could feel this. She's shaking. It was like, I'm just hugging her. You all right? You about to explode?
Well, I wanted to know, because I'm looking at the time, but I wanted to know, like, as far as, because y'all kind of went straight to sex, kind of, and I'm curious as to know, as far as,
well, not just
like,
sex.
No, then we talked about communication.
Well, sex and
The
communication.
over the head
I
first.
want to go to the dating, like, because that's where I'm at with things, you know. So, like, because nowadays, and I say this all the time, it's really hard to find someone that, you know, actually knows how to communicate online. And it doesn't have to be online, but I mean, we never make it to in person because the conversation just be so dead, you know,
either dead
or dying before there's an opportunity to ever meet anyone.
You know how you change that too, and I'm big with doing it even in business meetings. I'm big with going from texting and chatting and say, hey, call me, and then we get on the phone. Hey, when can we meet? Or when can we Zoom in person? You know, so when I'm meeting somebody on a dating tip, get to meeting the person. You know, well, I know women have to be a little safer now, stuff like that. You meet them in public, but get to the point where you're getting to the person. What's happening is we're doing so much preliminary. You don't even get a chance to, you're looking at the person's stats. And if they meet up, you're seeing pictures, looking through his family pictures, seeing if you can tell how his flow is with people and stuff. All right, I meet him, I see what's what. And then you meet him and you're like, man, he wasn't really that interested. Well, he's an introvert and he's a techie. But you don't get that just by looking at the people he cool with. You know, these are the highlight reels. Remember, online is highlight reels.
Definitely.
Get to meeting the person quicker. So you can feel, because chemistry is real. Chemistry is real. And also you can see if y'all can have a conversation. And we on so many eggshells and got the representatives, sometimes it's hard to just have a conversation with somebody. Yeah. But get to the meat of it. You know, online is online. We need to keep online for what it is. That's cool. People are online dating. Some people have met their mates through online dating. But online is online. Get to the point where you're gonna meet, you know.
So as women, like, and it seems like if a man is taking too long, do we say something? You know, because I don't want to be seeming aggressive, but you know what I
Well,
mean?
here's the
Like,
thing. If
how,
you meet somebody, how long are y'all gonna talk online?
I
How
don't know.
long? I'm not talking about long distance, and that's another thing. I don't like long distance relationships. I don't like them. I don't think it's the reason is because you're supposed to be able to be with your person. You're supposed to be able to touch your person. I do not like long distance relationships at all. So if y'all are talking long distance relationship and both of y'all are real patient and y'all so happy with your job, you don't have to see a person or touch a person or feel a person, then have at it. But if you want to have somebody holding you soon, go meet this person and see if anything's there. We're doing too much stuff online. Like, get to the phone conversation, get to seeing if you can meet each other in person, and see what you might meet the person like, oh, breath is funky. Are they bad? Are they cool enough for me to tell them? Or I'm just gonna let Mr. Halitosis walk away? It could be anything. He all of a sudden see you and was like, oh man, she taller than I thought she was. I ain't into that. Meet the person.
Oh, he's shorter.
I've had people start these whole relationships online, older folks online, Facebook date, all this. And my friend of mine told me she met the dude. He was like, yeah, it's cool, this, that, another. But I like walking. And she like hiking and all this. She in her 60s, but she looked like she in her 40s, 50s. She was like, I like hiking stuff, but we couldn't walk too far on the beach because he has like a disorder. I was like, excuse me, what's wrong? He said his legs are kind of like he's like real bow-legged. I said, he has like a handicap? He said, yeah. I said, did he say that in the whole flow of things? No.
Sorry.
Are you cool with that? No, not. Then it's party over. You like walking, he's in there. He can't even stay in the screen. He just you trying to. He's like, oh, we can't go too far. Yo, if that's a deal breaker for you and you ain't, it's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But meet the person. We got to get back to seeing each other in person and just being patient. When I say patient with each other, I'm talking about in the midst of a relationship. I'm talking about when you're talking to one another. We haven't gotten a chance to see each other in person, and we have so many distractions. Everybody got a website. Everybody got something. I'm on my phone looking for something hot, butt naked, booty, big. But I'm like, oh well, I guess I gotta dislike this. I started disliking it, and it came up more. I was like, well, that one. But so you got it's so many distractions. How can you focus on someone unless they're in front of you?
That's true. I like that answer.
Yeah, I get it.
I guess I'll go back to the drawing board again.
I don't online date no more.
Hey, if anybody, how long is your show? I don't know how long you guys.
We're about to wrap it up now.
Oh, but if anybody reads ebooks and they're on here now, if they text you guys, I think I sent you a copy of the ebook and you can just send it to them. But if they text or email or DM me, I'll send them a free copy of the ebook tonight for being on the show. Butt Naked Anonymous, conversational foreplay for dating, asking the hard questions up front. It is a manual, Fancy.
Look, I actually did. I I have had some busy days, but I was trying to go through it, and I actually had some more questions. But
come on, we got 7 minutes, girl.
No,
2 minutes.
I'm gonna try to get you as a guest for another segment, just because I noticed some things. I noticed you talked about individuality a lot in the book. So yeah.
I like that. So we have Mr. Troy Rawlings, www.troyrawlingslive.com. On Instagram is Troy Rawlings. I'm assuming that's Instagram too. Troy Rawlings Live.
Mm-hmm.
Show your book again.
My book is Butt Naked Honest, Conversational Foreplay for Dating. It's the first book. The next book is called Butt Naked Honest, Her Butler, His Babe. Her Butler, His Maid, Finding Gratitude and Servitude Towards Your Mate. But this is the first book.
Okay.
Total books. They're small books, 118 pages. You can read it in the bathroom.
I'm gonna have to hook you up with one of my girlfriends. She has dating cards, and she's out there on the East Coast too. So when you do your event, maybe she could come out there.
Well, I'm in Los Angeles, but I travel.
When you're on the East Coast.
When I'm on, that's what you were saying?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, I heard you say something.
You heard, yeah.
What I heard was
no. Thank you for being on the show.
But see, look, she cutting me off the conversation. Don't do that when you go out there, Fancy. That's not gonna work.
Okay.
She tried to get away with it.
Well, also, let me just take a minute to thank you, though, Troy, because we haven't known each other that long, but you gave me some context the other day, and they were, I actually called everybody today, and they have been really, warm and helpful, and I'm just like, look at Troy, like he came through with this, so I appreciate.
I got a phenomenal. I'd be nothing without my team, nothing without the people helping me, and my Baltimore squad, because all those folks I think were part of my Baltimore crew, but they're golden. That's the reason I'm here. Still going, they're my mentors, they're my sounding boards, they're the ones who get me straight when I'm off. So I appreciate my team. Eartha Harris, Donnie Glover, Kat, Rodney, Deborah, everybody. All my crew. If I forgot you by any chance,
Shout out.
Yeah.
No, I was saying shout out to them.
Yeah, for real. And I gotta make sure I'm I'm sorry. Before I get out of here. Jacksonville, Florida, I'm coming. November 11th through the 13th. Jumpin' Jacks weekend. I'll be doing the full Taboo Raw Uncut comedy show. Go to pinkribbontravel.com if you're in Florida. Bikers, sororities, fraternities, vets, social clubs, come out. Jumpin' Jacks. You'll see the commercial if you follow me on social media, but shout out to Pink Ribbon Travel.
Okay.
That's dope. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch up with you for another segment.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Davis and Miss Fancy.
Peace and blessings.
Talk to y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye.
He's a mess. I didn't know he was a comedian too.
I thought I mentioned it. My bad. I was trying to let you fill you in, but yeah.
Nah, it was cool. That was cool. I didn't mean to jump straight to sex. I was just talking about because he said taboo, and I was like, well, taboo stuff. How you talk to your man about he not performing? I mean, I don't have those issues, but I was just saying, just putting it out there. Okay. Anywho, tonight I have on the Poet Shug shirt, the Poet Shug Avery shirt. I don't know if I mentioned, but I do have another podcast that I do on Thursdays, and it's actually with her. It's like 9:00 on Thursdays. We working on the advertising at different days, but I just wanted to show off her shirt. She is definitely a poet here in Dallas. She is phenomenal. That's it. To catch up with me, you can go to my website, Lady CEO, Lady spelled with an I, CEO on platforms. It is Lady CEO. Instagram is lady.ceo. Fancy.
I'm wondering, I'm looking I was watching on my phone too, and for some reason it's like it has ended it or something already. I don't know. I just see something weird looking, but you all can find me at everything Swagger Magazine is Swagger Magazine. We are swaggeronline.com is our website, and all of my personal pages are Fancy Swagger. And we just revealed our cover earlier this evening. So yeah, Onion and I on the cover. Was really excited to share this with you all. This is the healing issue. So we discuss healing from all different angles, and Anya and I kind of give you all some behind the scenes of theories and thoughts, things, we hadn't really discussed, I don't think on the podcast. So, okay. So yeah. And you all can find that issue on the website as well as it is available for digital reading. And it seems like there's something else I was supposed to be saying. Also, I recently did an interview with the Sisters Cafe. So I'll be sharing that with you all, sharing the link and sharing it on my Instagram page and some more places just to make certain that you all can see it and listen to it. I think it was really good. And I enjoyed speaking with Gladys Bowden, the hostess of the show. So I just wanted to share that with y'all too. And I appreciate her taking the time out to interview me. Oh, and I also, did interview Karen Melina White today. That was supposed to go in my recap thing. So you guys can be on the lookout for that interview too.
Who's she?
Karen Melina White from Different World, The Cosby Show.
Her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't be knowing people by their real names.
Yeah, Charmaine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It was sweet. She's a sweet. Well, I don't know if she's sweet. I'm just saying. She
was sweet. She was very peaceful.
I like that. I like those type of interviews.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we got for you guys. We will see you again next week.